everybody. Welcome to day 3. Ah, what a beautiful few days it has been during my birthday week. It's been so special to be with each and every one of you. And I would love to hear from you again. What was yesterday like for you? If you were here on the morning call or you listened to the recording, how did it affect the rest of your day? What did you become present to? What did you notice? I want to hear everything. Tell me about what it's like for you. What are you becoming aware of? Thank you, Natalie. So great. It was like a reality check. Yeah. Filled up my wins list before noon. Bet on myself in big ways. Beautiful. And Vicky says I was calm and strong throughout all of the day's challenges. That's right, Vicky, because life is going to life. But it's who are we being? Kim says I was more aware of the fears that seem to linger in the background and that have been affecting my results. So that is absolutely incredible, Kim. And I'll tell you why. As you begin your day and put yourself into a peak state and are connecting to your highest self, you're then more aware of what is not in your highest. You actually become more aware of any fears and doubts because there's such a contrast to the way that you started your days, and that is absolutely incredible. And what that's showing, Kim, is that there is a shift. And there is a shift because before you would not have been aware of those. They would have just been there running the show as you're going through your day in a tranquilized obviousness. That's what it is like. We're just kind of like in this state where we're on autopilot. And so we are um kind of numb to things at times. But when you step out of it, you kind of wake up and you step out of it, you can see what you were in. You can only see what you were in when you step out of it. Does that make sense? And so this is such a beautiful thing to realize because it can show you where are other areas, like where are areas in my life where doubts and fears are running the show. Oh, I love that. Mitzi said what Kim said. Nancy says that she felt more aware of access to her magic and power. Beautiful. And what would that be like to be aware of that every single day? Marion says, I continually ask myself what story I was operating from and canceled some plans based on not great narratives. And I got a job I applied for via 4 sets of tests. I just kept saying, these are for my growth. These are for my growth, feeling terrific and ready to learn more. Oh my gosh, I'm loving this. And Greg says the mornings have set the tone for beautiful energy exchange. Be for the entire day. Amen to that. Glenna was more aware of her self-talk um and some that comes from our own insecurities. Yes. Yes. Yes, Audrey felt calm and tackling small home tasks. I love it. Daphne was awake and very productive. Crystal was aware of moving into flow. Was aware of moving into a low levels of pettiness, intercepted and rised above the situation. Betty was learning how important, she says, how important my input is as it causes my effect. You are the cause, Betty. Starting the day on a high note and being more aware. Thank you so much. I love that. Keep putting it in the chat for others to read and others to take from. Participate. Yeah, participate in this day. One of the things that we were talking about, and it's just so with me because I was with Inner Circle for 4 hours yesterday at our monthly meeting, and it was, oh my gosh, it was absolutely incredible. And we were really, again, diving into this idea of being. And when you are being something, you are literally used by it. When you're being something, we can also use the term praxis, that your belief and behavior are fused. When you're being something, again, if somebody was to put a camera into your home, they would see the actions of that being. And that's what many of you are waking up to, that who are you being? Do you know what the two most powerful words are? What are the two most powerful words? I am. Exactly. I am. And some people refer to those two words as God is. I am, or God is. And then whatever follows I am is a choice. And that's a choice of what you want to be and who you want to be and what you're expressing in the moment, what you believe and consent to be true. This idea of being the thing itself, you know, uh, Vernon Howard said, you achieve supreme insight into the true nature of things when you see that all you need to do is let is one of my favorite words. Let something be done for you. It's a fuse. Like, what it is that you have your desire, and then you've got to drop any resistance to the desire, because it's already here. You have to allow. There was a quote that Bob would refer to. I don't know who the original person is that said it, but I'm grateful for the idea that used me. And some of us have the idea that's using us is our ideas of failure, of ideas that, oh, you know what? I'm just going to take the crumbs, not worthy of the cake. The ideas that are using some of us are that, oh, you know what? That being a good person means that I'm going to do everything for everybody else and put myself last. For some of us, these are the ideas that we are being used by. I'm too old. I'm too young. It's too late. It's too early. I don't have the education. I need to know more. All of these things, these are ideas that are being used by you. When you tap into your desire and you start to be in that desire and be from that, my gosh, you're so grateful for the idea that came to you, that you believed and consented to be true, that you decided was worth taking the risk of looking bad, looking foolish, that may get other people talking. They're not really talking. They're worried about themselves, but we think they are. Thank you, Mario. It's Alfred Adler. So I am is a feeling of permanent awareness. The very center of consciousness is the feeling I am. I may forget who I am, where I am, what I am, but I cannot forget that I am. I am. The awareness of being remains regardless of the degree of forgetfulness of who, where, and what I am. I am is that which amid unnumbered forms is ever the same. It is the constant, it is permanent awareness. I am. This great discovery of cause reveals that good or bad, human beings are actually the arbitrator of their own fate, as that it is their concept of themselves that determine the world in which they live. What I am, are you expressing? Are you being in the world? And the whole purpose of what I do, why I get up every morning, turn on Zoom, have my coffee in my Catherine Marr mug, is because I'm committed to you being powerful, being, I am powerful. I am committed to being a vessel for you to understand and remember who you really are. Been doing these calls for over 4 years. And you can ask my clients, because some of them have been with me from the very first one. The intensity, my passion, my desire has never wavered. And then this is what we were touching on yesterday in the inner circle. It's like you realize this. You realize the powerful being that you are. And then you move it outside of you. You move it into your family, into your community, and into the world. That is the point. We expand our world by sharing outside of ourselves. I left this in a note yesterday. We expand our world by sharing outside of ourselves. What we are up to is beyond our individual self. It is for our community and the world. Sharing yourself so freely and being fully self-expressed, that is freedom. That is a level of freedom that is beyond financial freedom, a level of freedom that is beyond any kind of freedom you can imagine. Yes, Glenna says, can you share that more? How? Oh, Glenna. Well, Glenna, oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. It's sharing in the world authentically, Glenna. It's sharing in the world who you are when you are not defending the false identity, the false construct that we created to keep ourselves safe. When we first, as an individual, truly break free from that, and this is work that we would be doing. So there's deep work around this, but we truly break free from that. And and then it's showing up in that way of authenticity, because many of us, most of us, are inauthentic about our authenticity. And when we get authentic, when we get to that, everything is different, Glenna. Your conversations are different. What's showing up in your life is different. You've experienced this, Glenna. What's showing up in your life is different. And how you see how the world occurs to you, Glenna, is different. And so when you go out into the world, there's uh you're in your power, you're being powerful, which actually allows us to access love, Glenna. And then you show up as love for not only you, not but it starts with you, but not only your family, not only your community, but the world. And so let me give you an example again about this being work. Look, here's the thing, especially for those of you that are new. What you're getting today and what you've received over the last 3 days, and I honor you and am so, you know, gosh, thrilled that you have been here, is a taste. We open things up to have a taste of something that I find so sweet, like cake on a birthday, and that is these calls. It's a taste of it. From 7 to 7:30, I will go into what it means for you to be on these calls every single day. Because this conversation about beingness, we're continuing this conversation because it's so important. So important. It's everything. So let me just take it further in this moment. Um uh Glenna, for you and others. This is something I said yesterday to Inner Circle. I said, there's a difference between being a part of something and being the thing itself. There would be a difference between being part of Inner Circle and being Inner Circle for the participants in Inner Circle. So I'll give you an example. Lexi was moderating a huge, like at this huge event in Vegas. She's moderating a panel. I mean, there's thousands of people there. And her flight would have her miss Inner Circle, the flight that, and then so she shared that with us. As we say, we are our commitment. So she shared that she wouldn't be there, and that was fine. We understood. Then we get a message saying, I've changed my flight because I can, because I can choose what it is that I decide to do. So I changed my flight, and now I'm coming in on the red eye, and I will be there. I'll have the salmon for lunch. Now, that is another level of being. That's a being, that's a commitment to the group. We were all commenting also, quite frankly, on how good she looked. So she uses apparently these Victoria Radford eye patches, add to cart, because this she did not look like she just flew in on a red eye. Right, Claire? Add to cart. But this is a powerful way of being. A powerful way of being is recognizing that you have choice even. And you can ask yourself, what would I love? And, you know, for Lexi, what she would love is to be there in person and do this event, be of service. This is servant leadership too, which is something I talk about, to be of service to these people, to this organization, very much in harmony with who she's being, and to be at our Inner Circle meeting session. So when you start to live in this world of being a powerful being, you realize you have choice. When you keep your world very, very small, you um you operate you operate from that world, which has you feeling like you have no choice, because it's whatever is happening in front of you is it. Oh, let me put it this way for you. It's the difference between living in the reported world and the created world. So the reported world would tell Lexi that, oh, you cannot do both, because you are, this is a really huge deal. You're going to LA, you're going to be, or Vegas, you're in front of thousands of people, you're doing this thing, you know, and then like taking a red eye, and also you're not going to really sleep on the plane, so you really can't do it. I mean, what shape are you going to be in for that meeting? It's better just to have a good night's sleep in the hotel, and take advantage of being at the hotel. Your partner, Adam's got the kids taken care of, like, just be there. That's reported world. And I'm telling you, most of you live in the reported world as your default. The created world is, what would I love? I would love to be there. I'd love to drop off the kids at school in the morning, actually. So the reported world is where Lexi lives. So the created world. So she created what she wanted, but she first had to have an awareness that she wanted something. She had to have an awareness by asking herself, what would I love? What would I prefer? I do both. It's fine. And then I'll go to sleep early on, what was it, last night, Wednesday night. I'm so supported. That is power. And it's not from a place of, look at me, I am doing it all. I can do this, and then I can drop off my kids, and then I can show up this. It's not from ego. It is from true power. It is not from force, because it is coming from a desire within. This is what I would love. It is not coming from, I want to show people that I can do this. Are you getting this? Are you getting this? Are you getting what a difference it could be in your life if you were showing up powerfully? A change of consciousness is necessary before you can change your outer world. This has been a change of consciousness for Lexi. Rain falls as a result of a change in the temperature in the higher regions of the atmosphere. So, in like manner, a change of circumstance happens as a result of a change in your state of consciousness. To be transformed, the whole basis of your thoughts must change. And this is why, many of you have received a taste, but it's not transformation in your being. You've got to be willing to train yourself into a new life. Would taking some skating lessons for, a few days get you ready for the Olympics? And many times we look at people, we're jealous of what they have, but we're not jealous of how they got it. So I got to tell you, that's why I love these days when it's like, at the end, we're going to open and I'm going to share how I can really help you, how I can truly help you to be transformed. Because to be transformed, the whole basis of your thoughts must change. But your thoughts cannot change unless you have new ideas, because the ideas that are using you right now may not be what you want more of, right? It was like, who was it that said yesterday about the story? Oh my gosh, I feel like her name began with an S. Talking about the story and that it's more of the same. You need a new idea. Yes, Shelley, that was you. We need new ideas because we think from ideas. All transformation begins with an intense, burning desire to be transformed. Do you have a burning desire to be transformed? And I got to tell you something, like I'm very present to Inner Circle because we were in Miami, and then we had our session yesterday. Um, you know, some of these women have been with me for years, and the desire to be transformed is there. And where we see it show up is the depths that they go to in facing themselves, the ruthless honesty to break free from stories that have built a protection around us. And this happens in the work that we do every day on these calls, which is why when sometimes something is mentioned on a call, I will invite you to take action on the call, whether it's sending an email to somebody, something happens. I'm like, do it on this call because you're in the energy of your highest. So all transformation begins with an intense, burning desire to be transformed. The first step in the renewing of the mind is desire. You must want to be different before you can begin to change yourself. And sometimes we don't want to admit that we want to be different because we feel it means that there was something with the way that we were being. Is there something wrong with you not fitting into a shoe that you wore when you were 5 years old? Is there something wrong with that? Is there something wrong with you that you do not fit into shoes that you wore when you were 5 years old? Yes or no? No, right? No, Glenna, there's nothing wrong with that. We don't make ourselves wrong because we've outgrown a shoe. It's very natural. Well, this is what it is in our desires in our lives. We outgrow something. But we feel like that makes us wrong if we're not still sticking to it. So we stay in things for way too long because we're around people that have stayed in things for way too long. Courage is contagious. That's why groups are so powerful. You see the things, you hear the things of that people are doing, and you're like, holy shit. Okay. Thank you for showing me what is possible for me. Claire says, oh my God, 11 and a half years in the same business structure that wasn't serving me. Beautiful. You became aware of that, Claire. Nothing wrong. You've outgrown it. Now what? You must want to be different before you can begin to change yourself. Then you must make your future dream a present fact. Glenna says it's better to select who we surround ourselves with that lift us, motivate us, where we can be our best, highest self. Yes, Glenna. And then you are a stand for them being their best, highest self, and they are a stand for you being your best, highest self, because that is how they see you. Glenna, guess who I ran into twice in the last little while? Guess. You might already know. Let me see if she's on the call. One of my favorite people. Oh my gosh, I love this woman. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Maureen Atkinson. And I know as Maureen and I were chatting, the relationship that she has built with you, with Heather, with others from this community, and that you don't have to still have a relationship with each other, but you choose to, and that you're a stand for each other. So, how do we do this? How do we assume the feeling? How do we make our future dream become a present fact? Well, you do this by assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. When you're assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you're not living in the reported world, you're living in the created world. I think I saw somebody ask about debt. Debt is simply a decision. Maybe you made decisions to pay something off later. Like, you've got to get neutral about it. The thing is that you're making a judgment about yourself based on what is in your bank account or things that you owe. Clean it up, take responsibility for it. But you're letting that energy control you if you are feeling shame, if you are feeling bad, if you are feeling like you're a bad person. You're not a bad person. Gosh, and if you look at some millionaires out there, at one point they were bankrupt. You can This is where you have choice. This is where you can be in your power. Does that define you? Does that mean now you're going to, have to shame yourself and judge yourself for it? No, get neutral about it. Do what you need to do. Face it and then be from the place of abundance. Rebecca says, Hina, I just took action in this call without prompting. I love you, Rebecca. Oh my gosh, Rebecca. I'll never forget being with you and Michelle after our event, Rise at the Ritz. And you were having dinner or bite to eat afterwards, and then seeing you. And then I think you signed up that day or when you got home. Um, I just think of like, gosh, just so grateful. Oh, it's all thanks to your prompting several weeks ago on the morning call when you encouraged to take time for myself before the launch. Yes. Today I got thinking about next week. I'm traveling for work next week, and I was thinking, who do I be when I travel for work? Oh my gosh. And I immediately realized I need to book myself a massage for the afternoon I arrive in Nashville. I plan to fly in a day early before the busy 5-day begins the next day, and I just realized that future me would always take advantage of the hotel spa. Thank you for reminding us to act on inspired thought. Yes. Heather says, surrounding yourself with people that see you as your highest self and hold spaces for that version of you is the best. Big love to my people. Big love to you. Rebecca says, your memory is incredible, Hina. And yes, signed up that night. Seeing you at the restaurant was our sign. Yes. And you can see from what Rebecca said, there was something several weeks ago because you build on it and it's the repetition. This is getting your reps in and you're training your mind for a new life because this idea is a new idea to rest actually before a launch as opposed to before a launch or before an event as opposed to a previous pattern of burning the midnight oil. Oh my gosh. And let my team see how much I'm working and how stressed I am. I got to tell you, when I see in my, like, I can see the team's calendar, the team can see my calendar. And I love seeing so much white space in my team's calendar. I love it. I love it because I know that this is that they there may be things that aren't in there that they're actually doing. I don't know. But what I do know is that they've got space to think, to be creative, because then all of a sudden they bring things to me and I'm like, when did you do this? I'll give you an example. I was like, so I think, we got to really think about Tara was mentioning something and I was like, Tara, yes, I love that idea. I do want to make sure though that we do the website first before we start to do something new. She's like, oh, that's done. We're presenting that to you like tomorrow. I was like, when? I don't even know. Like her and the rest of the team who needed to get together got together and did it. It's the best. Wen says, I like this reported world and created world deal. And I took action yesterday. Beautiful. And it was powerful and awesome. I snapped shot all of your morning affirmations, Hina. Aw, that really helped me. Helped my friend take action and made some calls for her to help her. It was powerful and so good to feel good to have helped my friend. When that is an example of being powerful and how you were being powerful for your friend, your community. And I mean, this is what happens when we start to be in this way. And it doesn't come from obligation. It doesn't come from, I want to look good. I want somebody to say, oh, wow, look at me. Oh, when did this amazing thing for me? It's truly coming from an authentic place. Some of us may do the exact same action and we are being inauthentic about it. And these are the discernments and the distinctions that you must realize for yourself. So by desiring to be other than what you are, you create an ideal of the person you want to be and assume that you are already that person, that way of being. The language, the words that come out of your mouth, you're creating with your language. Nothing has to change for you to create with your language from the place of your goal, of your desire, how you speak of it. So the person that mentioned debt, how they speak about their debt, how they speak about money, that can change right now with whatever is in your bank account or whatever is not in your bank account. This is the work. This is the training yourself into a new life. This is the reps. And then if this assumption is persisted in until it becomes your dominant feeling, the attainment of your ideal is inevitable. It's inevitable. It's inevitable because it's a perpetual transmutation of energy. Energy is. We are working with infinite intelligence, the formless substance, and we are forming, but we're forming it first in the invisible realm from no thing to something. And it moves to and through us based on what we believe and consent to be as true. And everybody will start with whatever their access point is for where they are. The ideal you hope to achieve is already ready is always ready for an incarnation. But unless you yourself offer it human parentage, it is incapable of birth. What does that mean? Well, that's the acorn and the oak tree. The patterning, the potentiality is in the acorn. The potential is there. The patterning is there. But unless it is planted and tended to, it won't be fully self-expressed or self-actualized as an oak tree. Same for you. The ideal that you hope to achieve is always ready. It's ready for incarnation, but that's your choice. It's whatever you're following, whatever follows, I am, and that you believe and consent to be is true. Remember, we also have a special Q&A call, a bonus call tomorrow. Team, could we drop the link in for that just in case some people want to sign up here? I can't remember if it went out or not. So therefore, your attitude should be one in which, having desired to express a higher state, does anybody here have a desire to express a higher state? Okay, Erica, beautiful. Kim, I have to say, whenever I see your name, I had a dream a couple of days ago with a Kim in it. That was not a client, and it is you. Because I remember when and the reason is because like the top of my head is tingling. Um, Anyways, so whenever I see your name, I'm reminded of that dream, and I can just speak to the feelings of the dream. I won't speak to it right now, but eh, yeah. So whenever I see your name, it's like the top of my head, my crown starts tingling. Okay. So you have a desire to express a higher state. Beautiful. So now your attitude should be one in where you alone accept the task of incarnating this new and greater value of yourself. Rebecca, I love, from my psychotherapy days. Sorry, I just have to interrupt. Like, dreams are so powerful because the messages in dreams, this is when our subconscious, our unconscious is working. Like Freud said, it was the royal road of the unconscious. Like, the dreams are there's so much information in dreams. So for any of you that feel like you don't remember your dreams, just get a notebook. And even if you just remember, like, I think I remember the color red, or I remember, one person in it. Then slowly it will open up your remembering of it, because you're going to be aware to remember. And yeah, I mean, I'd love to do we could do a clinic on dreams. And that's one thing, as a client, we do special clinics at time that everybody's invited to. So you alone accept the task of incarnating this new and greater value of yourself. And this is where you have choice. So in giving birth to your ideal, you must bear in mind that the methods of mental and spiritual knowledge are entirely different, because we're not in the reported world. In order to give birth to this, we've got to move into the created world. Okay. And how do we do this? Here we go, folks. I'm taking off my bathrobe. Oh, yeah. Okay. This is a point that is truly understood by probably not more than one person in a million. You know a thing mentally by looking at it from the outside, by comparing it with other things, by analyzing it and defining it. Whereas you can know a thing spiritually by only becoming it. This is why when we look at something like what Rebecca has done, booking herself a massage, going in a day earlier, Lexi coming back a day earlier, they can only know this by being the person, by having an experience of it. Otherwise, it is just in the knowing realm, and knowing does not lead to change. If it did, if knowing led to change, All of you know enough. There is a YouTube, there are podcasts, there are so many things where you can know more. The difference is moving into action. And that's what makes what we do so powerful, because people move, because you're in a peak state every day. You're not just consuming things on your own. So to really be a thing, you've got to become it. So if you want to be someone different, you've got to be someone different. Knowing, there's a lot of complacency in knowing. There's a lot of people with like letters running off the name of their business cards that don't have the life that they want, that don't have the results that they want, that don't have the relationships that they want. Right, Claire? Yeah, taking action, aligned action, action from being powerful, from a powerful place. Imagine being powerful in every area of your life. You must be the thing itself. You must be the thing. This is the, I know. I'm again, I know I'm speaking of inner circle, and again, they're very present to me because we were there, but uh all of the people in inner circle have a bracelet, and there's something on this bracelet. Does somebody want to put it in the chat of what's on that bracelet? Courtney says a B. Yeah, it's a B. It's a B. And the reason is it's be my word. It's who am I being? And it's just a reminder of that, of the commitment to yourself, of who you be. Connie says, how do you remember to do this every day or stay motivated to do this every day? Connie, stay on the call at 7 a.m. And I will let you know exactly. Wen says, last 2 days after the call, I slept and realized a lot of stuff inside. Yes. Then when I got up, I did what I said with the affirmation, etc., and got into my power. And yet the rejection deal, uh, sorry, sometimes I can't see a piece of it. Somehow I want to let it go. Comes and goes. Yes, of course it's going to come and go. It's going to come and go. It is like, it is going to come and go. But what's going to happen when is that you're going to be more in your power than you're not. Like over time, the time that you get back, or what we call, like, you have a dip, something pulls you back, that the time that happens is going to be less and less and less. I hope that may, oh, wait, hold on. Now I can see. Yes, this rejection deal in me. Yes, of course, it's not going to happen overnight. You must be the thing itself. You must be it itself, not merely talk about it or look at it. It's outside of you then. You must be like the moth in search of the flame. Just as the moth, in his desire to know the flame, was willing to destroy himself, so must you, in becoming a new person, be willing to die to your present self. That's what it's going to cost you. That's it. Can we appreciate now why we hold on to things? Because, gosh, We've got to kill off a version of ourselves that served us at one point. You must be conscious of being healthy if you are to know what health is. How are you going to know what health is if you are not being health? You must be conscious of being secure if you are to know what security is. So, to incarnate a new and greater value of yourself, you must assume that you already are what you want to be. You are what you want to be, and then live by faith in this assumption, which is not yet incarnate in the body of your life, meaning that you're not the physical. Oh gosh, the physical is the last place you're going to see it. It's like, where do seeds grow? Underground, in the dark, in the dark. So who are you being? Can you be that, while it is growing in the dark, but you are being that which you do not see yet? Claire says you need to feel the feeling of being that who and what you want to be. For me, it wasn't enough to say I want to be confident. No, exactly, Claire. Claire, you had to make decisions that required confidence to make when you didn't feel confident. That's how you be confident. People think, oh, I'm going to know enough and then I'm going to be confident. No, you're going to experience being confident when you make a decision or you do something that you feel a little shaky and not confident about, and then that increases your confidence. Is anybody getting this? You can't intellectually get to, oh, now I'm confident, now I'm going to do it. You got to do it shaking in your boots. This is what I'm going to talk about tomorrow on Breakfast Television, which, by the way, clients, we do 10 minutes in the morning of writing self-image, goals, gratitude, but I'm going to keep it to 5 minutes because I'm going to have to wrap up the call tomorrow at about 6:45 a.m. To get ready for Breakfast Television. So we're going to start on this clock at 5 after. And so this is what we call about like the contrast. There's a contrast. There's something, if you want to be confident, there's something created, what you want to do, like you're going to be given opportunities to be confident, to increase your confidence. If you want to be peace, it's not going to be in, okay, I have to wait for the outer conditions to change and then I can feel peace. No, it's going to be in this rocky relationship. Where can I feel peace? I love In A Course of Miracles. I swear this stayed with me. I can choose peace instead of this. I can choose to be peace in this experience. Right. It is a beautiful miracle, Andrea. The more you do it, the more you become it. But you've got to do it before you fully feel it, and then that's how you feel it. It's like, can you feel abundant with whatever's in your bank account? Or does the bank account control how you feel? Can you go outside of your house and look at depending where you live, see an abundance of cars or see an abundance of trees, see, go to a park and just look at the abundance of the blades of grass. Go to the beach, look at the sand, the abundance of the great. Like, can you connect to abundance? Can you see abundance regardless of what's in your bank account? And this is the part. How are we for time? Oh my gosh, it's 7 o'clock. Okay, this is the part that we have to keep going. Let me just wrap this up here. So the idea is the wholeness is what integrity means. And this is where I take you. It's like to be whole, complete, in sound, perfect condition, in integrity. When we have integrity, we have workability. Okay, we're going to continue on this tomorrow because I'm going to get onto another rant there, another riff. Um, I am now going to pause the recording and then I'm going to start it again for those that would like to stay on. So now what we're doing is this part is all about letting you know if you have loved, loved, loved what you have experienced here. This has been a taste of it. And for me, I would not be doing you any justice and I would not be serving you if I said, okay, here, take a taste and good luck with that. So I'm giving you an opportunity to step into what it could look like for you to be powerful every day and what it could look like for you to enjoy the benefits, the ripple effect of this call, of these calls that you've experienced for 1 day, 2 days, or all 3 days, for months. How would that change your life? Who would you be? How would you show up? And what I love about giving you a taste of this is that there's no bait and switch. You're not going to meet me tomorrow and it's going to be like, oh, hey, here we are. It's the exact same level of intensity and passion that you have experienced. So what I love about this is that you know exactly what you're getting. So I'm going to now hold on. Let me pause for a moment just so the team can